Meanwhile, the top brass of the Jamaica Athletics Administrative Association, JAAA, has defended the decisions of the starters surrounding the false start incident which occurred during the semi-finals of the senior men's and women's 100 meters on Friday's second day of the national trials.
The scenes of two-time Olympic champion Sherian Fraser-Price seeming to pick the start and then being allowed to run by the starters. And then the same thing for 2011 world champion Johan Blake before he was later shown the red card for false starting. His protest and that of O'Shane Bailey did not paint a good picture of the crew of starters at the national championship. But president of the J3A's Dr. Warren Blake saw nothing wrong with all the starters led by Ludlow Watts dealt with the issue.
As president looking on, I know my starters are properly trained and they know the rules and they know how to apply the rules. And in the final race, my understanding is that 2 athletes were disqualified.
While fully aware of the false start rule, the two-time Olympic sprint silver medalist Blake thought once the rule was softened for one athlete, it ought to have been the same across the board.
I respect Shelly so much, and if they can put back Shelly, why they can't put him back in the race? We're Jamaican, we're one. They can make it a faulty start, right? And they come back, country do the same thing. The blacks them don't have any teeth, and they come back again, and they was protesting for how long, and Ludlow, the treasurer of a J3A, wasn't thinking even prudent. Let us run, and then you can disqualify who to disqualify after.
Chief starter Ludlow Watts says a combination of events affected their decisions across the women's and men's 100 meters semi-finals.
In all the cases, there were not fair starts based on certain variables. One, there was some wind at a certain point, and while it may not adversely have affected the athletes, you have to take into account that an athlete could have a protest and it could show that it may have affected him. So we took that into account, that there were some unfavorable sounds that took place just at the point of the trigger, and so we had to give the athletes the benefit of the doubt.
Glenn Mills, Blake's coach and the man who previously managed the senior trials for over a decade, says the issue with the starting area must be fixed going forward.
We've got to do better. The process and the rules are quite clear. When you look at the starting area, it looks like a marketplace. I don't know where so much people are around the starting area, why they need so many persons to conduct a start. And all this atmosphere must lend itself to the whole unsettling of the athletes.
Reporting for TVJ Sports, I'm Keon Rayner.